All right, so let's go back again. We've looked at while loops and we've also looked at for loops. I believe there's one more thing to look at. Exiting loops. At some point in time, maybe you don't want the entire loop to go on till the end, right? You can use the break keyword to exit the loop totally, to terminate the loop and then go about your business. Or you can use the continue keyword to skip that particular iteration. If you use it, it skips that particular iteration, but that's only if a particular condition is met before you can do any of those. Does that make sense to everyone? Yep. So let's try this out with our countdown.
So you cannot use break and continue if you're not using a loop. Is that right?
Yes. You can only use break and continue within a loop. If you try to use it outside a loop, it will give you an error message.
Yeah, okay. Because that's what I was saying. I couldn't use it, but I wasn't sure if I was doing something wrong.
Oh, good. Yeah, so let's go about this counter that we did earlier. We went ahead and said, while the counter is greater than 0, just keep counting down from 10 to whatever. So we can decide and say, where's my enter? If counter is equal to 5, make sure that you're using 2 equal signs, because if you use 1, it's an assignment operator. So if we use a condition here, if it's equal to 5, let's go ahead and break. That means when you get to 5, it's going to stop the code at that point, and then you're done. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute that. Enter a number. Let's try 10. Count all the way to 6, and it's done. Again, the reason we ended at 6 is because we updated our counter before we broke it. If we had this before updating our counter, then we'll see 6, 5, 6, and then 5. Does that make sense to everyone? So that, again, is breaking right there at 5. Otherwise, if you don't want to break out of the loop to terminate it, you can use continue. Continue is just going to skip number 5 and ignore it and continue with its business. Okay, so let's execute that. Let's try 15. Starts from 15, going down. And when it gets to 5, well, what am I missing here? Oh, that's why. The reason I'm printing that is because I have the print right after that. So let me make changes here. Cut this and put that right before. So if I have continue, it's going to skip that. Otherwise, it's going to print it. But I want the counter to always update. So let's execute that. Try 15 again. No, it wouldn't print. Okay, there you go. On that, what am I missing? No, it should be good. It should be good. I think we should be able to run it just fine. But I want to, let me go ahead and see if this is going to answer my question. There you go. I feel like I'm missing an indentation somewhere. That's what the issue is. So there you go. All right, so let's try 10. So as you see, the counter gets updated. 9 all the way to 5 gets skipped.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I had break, then it's going to break.
It's going to break it once it hits 5.
Out of it once it reaches 5. So 10, and then gets to 5, and everything stops. Does that make sense?
No, yeah. I think I'm missing something. Why are we assigning counter equal to 5 again? Is it the intention? Is it to skip or to do something when that counter reaches 5?
Exactly. So what we're doing here is, let's say we have a party that's supposed to be for, let's say, Betty Bay is coming to a concert, right? He's coming to the concert, and then we said we're going to let people come in. As soon as Betty Bay gets into the building, we close the door. Nobody's getting in anymore. Okay. So at that point, when you're checking all the numbers that are going through, we're going to ask the user to enter a number. Let's say they enter 10, 20, 30, whatever number. We go ahead and make sure that that number is going to count down all the way to 0. So we update that number by reducing 1, and then we check if the number meets a particular condition. In this case, we just chose condition of 5. Okay, whenever we see 5, we're going to stop. Nobody else is getting into the building. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. So check if condition is true. So if this condition is true, we're going to break out of the loop. Otherwise, we can use continue. If this condition is true, we're going to skip that particular iteration, and then we're not going to print that counter. So it's just going to go from here back all the way up to the next iteration and carry on. Make sense?
So I'm careful with your choice of words there, right? If the condition meets 5, it should maybe it should break. Should the next one should be else there? Continue if something.
So let's say if it's continue, then it will be skip this iteration. Again, the iteration is that inner loop, not the outer loop. It's the inner loop. But if we had break, then we're going to exit altogether. So stop the loop completely. Okay, exit the loop. Depending on what exactly we want. If we want to break, then we can go ahead and run that for 10. It breaks right there. Or if we want to continue, we can go ahead, run that. And when it gets to 5, 5 gets skipped.
Okay, let's spice this up, NASA. If if petit pays is in the building, which is the condition that we are saying counter equals 5, close the door, right? So that condition gets met. Now, because we want to give petit pays that honor to be on the stage, then people are still outside waiting. So there is a wait time, maybe 2 minutes for petit pays to get on stage. Then continue accepting tickets.
There you go. So now you can set that up again. Once you break out of the loop, you cannot get back into the loop. So at that point, you probably want to put a pause. Okay. There's a third option though, which I didn't want to talk about. I think we talked about it earlier yesterday. The third option is pass. Pass doesn't do anything. It just lets you, it's just like a placeholder. Like we don't know yet what we're going to do with the idea of having 5. So if you execute that and you put 10, it's just going to execute just fine because we don't know what happens when we have 5. Maybe we want to have something else happen. Then tomorrow we can come back and say, yeah, that manager said they've decided that, you know, when petit pays is there, let's maybe have some fireworks. Then we can decide that, okay, we're going to print fireworks. And then now that we've made that decision, the business decision, you can go ahead and execute that. When you do 10, when it gets to 5, you have fireworks, and then you continue.
There you go. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. So in this case, we're not using break or anything or exit. Okay. Break is like a hard stop. After that,
it's like a hard stop.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's also useful to have some of these in your code if you want to debug a loop. If you're having issues with a loop, you can always, you know, debug, like figure out where the bug is by printing out. Because in some cases you might have a mistake. Instead of greater than, you have less than. Instead of reducing the counter, you're increasing the counter, and so on and so forth. Sounds good? Excellent, excellent. Very good question so far. So let's see where we are at. Since we were just talking about continue and break, it's only like that we get to break time. And just as we've been talking about, the first day we did say beautiful is better than ugly. Next we said simple is better. No, sorry. Next we said explicit is better than implicit. Today we have to realize that simple is better than complex, right? Tomorrow, or should I say next iteration, we'll have something else. So it's 3 minutes to the top of the hour.
Complex is better than complicated.
Exactly. It's better for me to make things complex rather than complicated. But in the meantime, let's keep it simple, right? Keep it simple rather than complex so everyone can understand. So I'll give you guys 10 minutes. When we get back, we're going to just do practice, practice, practice. Okay, we're going to practice all of these things while loops. You know, look at some of the examples that we did earlier, how we can incorporate that in there. We've already looked at loops with ranges, so that's fine. Like I said, I just wanted to hammer it down in this 1 hour to make sure we understand the concept of loops with indefinite cases and loops with defined cases. So 10 minutes of time is yours. When you come back, we're going to carry on with this. That's the rest. Sounds good?
Is it a hard break or soft one?
It's a 10 minutes break. Then, very good one. It's not a hard break. It's a continue. We're gonna have a 10 minutes, and then we'll carry on from there.
That was a good one.
Yes, very good one. Very, very good one. So let's.